Good morning, my name's Chiquita and I'm the General Manager of the League of Extraordinary Women. Today I would love to welcome Sarah Pierce from Travelshoot, who has flown all the way from Brisbane to be with us. Sarah probably looks quite familiar to you because she has been on Shark Tank recently, about 2 months ago. So thank you so much for coming. We're so delighted you're a part of our league community. So tell us a little bit about Travelshoot.
So Travelshoot is a new concept. We make it really easy for people to be connected with photographers overseas, but also in Australia. We realise that when people travel, taking selfies or relying on other tourists and always kind of not getting everyone in the frame for those shots you really want is a real opportunity. So we've built a really great network of very skilled freelance photographers, and we've put together some packages. So it's just something new and exciting in the travel space, and it's also just a nice kind of unique experience to catch up with a local and have a real, meet a real local when you're traveling.
So Sarah, what ignited the spark for you to start Travelshoot? Tell us about how you got into the venture.
Yeah. It was actually my own personal experience. A couple of years ago, my husband and I were in New York for the first time, and a friend of mine had just moved over. He was a freelance photographer. He needed an awkward couple to do a bit of a test shoot with, just to build his New York portfolio. So we had an hour with him, and when we got the photos back, they were just amazing. The best travel photos we'd ever had, and all my friends wanted his details, and so it actually came from my own experience a couple of years ago.
It's funny how many businesses actually come from someone's personal experience where they need something, it's not there, so I may as well do it.
Yeah.
So how long have you been in business for now?
That New York trip was about 2 years ago, so I pretty much started working on the concept and building a network since that point. Our website's been live for about 8 months now, so technically in operation for about 8 months.
So tell us a little bit about your background beforehand. Did you have any experience in this industry, or was it just completely just going to something new?
Yeah. Totally new. I did marketing at uni, but I ended up working in IT projects, something totally different, doing communications. But I had always wanted to have my own business, so wrote many business plans about all sorts of things over the last 10 years. But when this came about and I realised no one was doing it, I started to take it a lot more seriously.
So besides that, the fact that it was fairly unique, was there anything else about it you thought you were really passionate about, or?
Yeah, I think just the concept, it's a really happy one. Like, it's helping or supporting local talent. The clients that get a travel shoot when they're on a holiday or a honeymoon or a big special event. It's just a good vibe type business. People are really happy with the outcomes. There's a few things that inspired me to do it.
So how have you gone about getting the concept out there in this big wide world of all this information? How are you setting yourself apart?
Yeah, I got really lucky. I hadn't planned for it, but part of my launch strategy, I ended up being part of Shark Tank, an Optus and Channel 10 promotion, and that really threw the business under the spotlight. So we are really in a fortunate position with the exposure that's come from that.
So when did that air?
That aired now probably about only 2 months ago, so it's been quite recent.
So what's been the roll-on effect since then?
Booking lots of travel shoots. New York, for some reasons, seems to be
where it all began.
And lots of interest from other industries, people with other businesses that are keen to partner with us, because it's such a big market. And so just that national exposure, it's been brilliant.
So did you get any really valuable advice from the sharks on Shark Tank?
I was really fortunate that part of the competition, off the back of it, and I actually ended up winning the People's Choice national votes.
Wow.
That was
Congratulations.
Awesome. And part of winning that is I get to have some time with Janine, Ellis. So I have a few sessions with her. I've had my first already, and you just after an hour with her, you walk out and think you can take on the world. So no, it's been really invaluable.
So tell us about the typical day for Sarah in Travelshoot.
Yeah, I'm better at it now. I must admit, in the beginning there was pajama days, but now every morning I write a task list, and my deadline recently has been I have to have it done by MasterChef. But so now I don't know what I'm going to do. But it's pretty much ticking off anything that's on that daily task list is the way that I stay focused. And I've recently started working at Gravity, the new co-working space in Brisbane, with a few people. So I try and get there in a structured space at least 2-3 days a week. And I think that's helping quite a lot.
So what's been your biggest challenge since launching Travelshoot for you personally as a business owner?
Well, I think from being on something like a Shark Tank, my problem actually is just keeping up, which is a lovely problem to have. We're keeping up with lots of really exciting and interested opportunities to partner with people. We've now got travel bloggers reaching out. And the other big part of what we do is we're managing a really big photography network of all freelance photographers. So lots of new photographers and locations coming up as well.
So have you made any major mistakes in the first 2 years?
Do you know what? I've been really lucky. I don't think professionally yet there's been a big mistake. I think if we'd probably gone out and just used photographers that we'd recruited and gone off their work, off their website, we could have been in a lot of not a lot of problems, but the interesting thing is that part of our process is doing a test shoot to make sure quality, we can guarantee quality. So, and yeah, we've had lots of test shoots that haven't gone as well as we thought. So I think if we hadn't have done that, we could have had a big issue with our model.
So Sarah, you started the venture with your husband. Does he work in it full time with you?
Not at the moment, but he's definitely, he helps out a lot, and particularly a lot of the back end stuff, finances, a lot of the contractual stuff. That's his thing. So we each kind of play our own role.
Do you have plans to bring him into the business?
I would love to. He's definitely, his strengths are probably my weaknesses. So I think I'm trying. Yeah.
And so have you worked out the tipping point of when that can actually happen? Have you got sort of a plan in place of where you want to see the business in 12 months, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years?
Yeah, look, I must admit, and I think I've met a lot of other female entrepreneurs that did something similar at the beginning of this. I really was not thinking big, and my 5-year business plan, the growth every year was quite restricted. And so now I've definitely pimped that up. It's much bigger than what I had intended. So I would really like to think that by next year our team is expanding, and the number of travel shoots every week. It's all about growth at the moment for us.
So is revenue building month on month?
Yeah, it is. And just even, it's so delightful at the moment. Like for me, particularly this year, first year of business, just trying to get your name out there. I didn't even expect to be in the position that we're in at the moment, where we're booking quite a good number of shoots every week, and particularly for the photographers on our network as well. They're wrapped because they're getting a lot more work than they had anticipated as well.
So what's your business model? So a photographer, do you charge photographers to actually register on your site, and then you charge clients? Tell us about your business model.
So we pretty much, to just really guarantee quality, we hand pick photographers through a recruitment process. We have a couple of photographers that we work with that sources photographers in all of our destinations. And we go through quite a robust process to bring them on the network. So it's definitely not hey, sign up, you're on it, because then we can't assure quality. And I know there's other things out there that exist like that, but there's just so many horror stories of people, spending quite a lot of money on photography for a wedding or a special event, and the photos aren't what appeared on that website. So the process is quite involved and it's quite laborious, but it's definitely worth it.
And so do you take a cut of the clients? So photographers charge a certain amount and then you take a cut of the transaction?
Yeah, and the way we work it, so we've got some pretty challenging packages for photographers to be on the network. So my goal from day one was not just to make this purely a luxury product. Just like me in New York, I wanted this to be accessible to the majority of people that are going on a holiday. For example, our package is $399, and that's for everything. That's the high format images sent to you within 5 days. So for professional photography, anyone that's got married, they realize how affordable that is. And so our process is that we've recruited our photographers to work with us on our packages. And the commission structure for them ranges depending on their experience. But kind of all the legwork in dealing with the customers, sorting out the itineraries, doing all the confirmations, it's with us to do. So the lovely thing about that model is
that's quite a lot of work.
It's a lot.
Logistically.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's like having your own little travel agency almost.
It is. It is. And that's why, we're really lucky. We've got some photographers on the network where, their normal price, their rates are quite high, but without them having to do all the admin and all the stuff that they actually don't like doing, for them just to turn up, take photos, upload, that's a big part of the appeal of
the
working with us.
Of it and taking that logistical nightmare aspect out of it
Absolutely.
for them.
Yeah.
And just enabling them to be creative.
Yep. Just doing what they're good at and they don't have to do anything else.
Okay, excellent. So what in terms of, I guess Shark Tank has obviously been pivotal in helping you get your name out there, but besides that, what other marketing strategies are you employing that actually are really effective?
For us at the moment, we've got two kind of core focuses. One is definitely social media, because our product is visual. We're getting such a great response, particularly on Instagram, and clients sharing their own Travelshoot experience after they've done a shoot. Has been great because A, it's visual, but B, a referral is its highest form of, marketing power. So that's been really great. And the other thing for us is kind of strategic partnerships at the moment. When you think about who travels, they're traveling because they're on a honeymoon or a destination wedding, or they've got a special event. So pretty much anyone in the travel space or anyone in that wedding space, we're having lots of different conversations at the moment. I even had like a jeweler the other day that's really keen to, as a nice finishing touch to the purchase process, give someone a travel shoot or a voucher or something. Because if they're buying an engagement ring, chances are, they might want to capture the proposal or the honeymoon. So definitely partnering and aligning ourselves with relevant businesses is really important.
So tell us about your mentoring with Janine Ellis. So you're working with her one-on-one following winning the People's Choice Award, being on Shark Tank. Tell us about that. How amazing is she?
She's fabulous. I've definitely gave me more time than the prize, stated, and, has been accessible on emails. And just what I like about her, and even prior to her being on the Shark Tank thing, her book actually really kind of kicked my butt into action after the New York trip. We were holidaying at Christmas. I read her book literally when I got a notepad at the beach and was just starting to go, okay, if she can kind of start it from nothing on a kitchen bench, like I can too. Her advice in the mentoring sessions has just been really practical, very definitive.
What's been your one key takeaway?
Just to think big and don't restrict yourself. And I think for a lot of people, particularly in the startup space, you think you need to have a lot of maybe 1 or 2 years of sales history behind you before you can start talking to, really big companies in your space. And it's actually not true. I left that meeting and I've approached a number of really big travel partners and now having some really exciting conversations. So particularly if you're the first one in that space and you've got a good product and it's quality, just go for it. That people can only say no.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time this morning, Sarah. We really appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you.